song, a little dance, a little Batman's head on a lance. And he's going to be playing Lakeside, Ohio on Saturday, July 23rd. You can go to lakesideohio.com for the details. We'll chat with him shortly. That is at the Hoover Auditorium, which I'm told is a lovely venue. On the Johnny Depp subject, by the way, a couple of days ago, the story broke. I guess broke? Somebody saw his name on the call sheet for Beetlejuice 2.
What?
So he's already allegedly working, or going to be working, the long-awaited Beetlejuice 2, which will be Michael Keaton. It will be Winona Ryder, Johnny Depp's ex-paramour, Wino Forever. He's rumored to be already going to be working.
Is this the first time that he's going to work with Tim Burton?
No. A bunch of times, right?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
I guess that was the joke. But it took me a second. Edward Scissorhands and what else?
Corpse Bride?
And Haircut Killer Guy.
Haircut... yeah.
Edward Scissorhands. Oh.
No, Sweeney Todd.
Edward Scissorhands did... Tim Burton did Edward Scissorhands,
yes.
too.
Yeah, he did that, too.
Yep.
We were watching Beetlejuice the other day. I think it was just on. We just put it on in the background. And the music was going, and my boyfriend was like, I love this soundtrack. I was like, you a big fan of Danny Elfman? And he goes, what? And then the name came up. He's like, how'd you know that? I'm like...
How did he not know that?
That's exactly what I said. I was like, have you ever seen a Tim Burton movie? They're all Danny Elfman, every single one.
People were going bananas over Danny Elfman because he's in really good shape for a guy who's almost 70. He grew his hair out. He got a bunch of tattoos. He was at Coachella. He just hopped up. Yeah.
And he performed songs like from, what's it called?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, they
on stage.
annihilated.
And it was great.
I bet.
Yeah.
But he's like way into working out. He's been married to Bridget Fonda for a long, long time, and those pictures made the rounds last fall. Bridget Fonda is huge now.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been married for a long, long time. But yeah, people went, because you figure that's right in that generation's wheelhouse at Coachella for him to be up there doing Nightmare Before Christmas music. But people were like, oh my God, that's Danny Elfman? Because back in the day, he just looked like a weird short-haired ginger, in Oingo Boingo days and doing Simpsons music and all that. But he grew his hair out, and he got way into tattoos, and he exercises a lot.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
It's like when you saw Carrot Top for the first time, you know?
Yeah, I think Carrot Top was juicing. I think Danny Elfman is probably doing things
I'm sure he's taking
au natural. Yeah.
I'm sure he's probably taking some, testosterone or something.
You think so?
Probably. At that age to put that kind of muscle on.
Well, but he doesn't look like The Rock.
I know,
He looks like a guy in his late 60s who's in good shape. So anyway, Beetlejuice 2, word got around that somebody allegedly saw Johnny Depp's name associated with it. You always forget that Beetlejuice, because people are so hyper-focused on Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder, I always forget that Alec Baldwin was in Beetlejuice. They're the dead people. He and Gina Davis are the dead couple. But I always forget. I never associate Beetlejuice as being an Alec Baldwin movie. But the rumors are that Tim Burton cast Johnny Depp in Beetlejuice numero dos. I never saw Sweeney Todd.
Catherine...
Zeta-Jones.
No. Is her name Catherine? The mom on Schitt's Creek.
I discovered the cure for cancer and now I've lost it. What?
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara, that's right.
I like her a lot.
And the late Jeffrey Jones, who, of course, was Ed Rooney from Ferris Bueller. He was alleged to have been a pedophile back in the day.
Oh, he died?
I think Jeffrey Jones died, yeah. Beetlejuice Dose is supposed to be released in June of 2025.
You've never seen Edward Scissorhands?
I've never seen Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah,
I've never seen that either.
I've seen Edward Scissorhands, although I don't enjoy that movie as much as a lot of other people do.
It's of its time.
It's okay. I think
it's a weird movie.
Really,
yeah.
It's a weird movie.
Sweeney Todd's what you think it's going to be.
Jeffrey Jones is not dead.
Yeah, I didn't
he's
think
not?
he was
Really
dead.
killed- I thought that he
his
was.
career was dead.
He hasn't done a lot. That's
I thought
okay.
he died, but he has not died.
Yeah,
Nope, still alive.
I think, wasn't Sweeney Todd a musical first? Yeah. The Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
It's the one that did that they performed in on The Office.
Andy was in it.
Andy was in it, yeah.
That's where they're making pies out of people, right? Mincemeat pies or whatever.
Yeah, he's killing people and they're serving it.
Tom Cruise has had a #1 movie in 5 straight decades.
Good for him.
I knew you could do it, Tom. I always believed in you.
Yeah. There's no stopping this Top Gun Maverick.
It's a good movie.
People are loving it.
It's a great movie.
I was actually going to go back and watch because the old Top Gun was on Netflix, but I was informed by a coworker of mine from my morning job that they took it off last night because I was going to go.
They took what off? Top Gun?
The original Top Gun. It was on Netflix, and I had just started it. It was like, would you like to continue watching? And I
It's gone.
I had something to do literally when I watched it. I was like, okay, I'll come back to it. And I just never got back to it. And so my coworker, she's like, she sat down. She's like, do you like Miles Teller? I was like, yeah, I think he's cute. She's like, oh, you need to see the new Top Gun. I was like, I haven't seen the original one in since it came out 20 years or whatever, because I saw it when it was on TV. And she's like, well, I think it's on Netflix. She's like, oh, wait, no, they just pulled it off. I was like, damn it. Because I'm not going to go
I wonder
out.
why they would pull it off now. You think
Because-
everybody would be going to see.
Because they knew
that reason.
Well, because they knew that this movie was coming out, so then there's other companies, because it's on Paramount Plus and Amazon Prime streaming now. So they'll say, hey, we'll pay you this much more to get people to come
exclusivity.
over here. Yeah.
Huh.
Because they know people like me are going to, I haven't seen the original, so I need to go back and watch it before I watch the Top Gun sequel. And that's exactly what I was going to do.
Yeah, I'm so dumb. I thought they meant that Tom Cruise had a #1 movie in each decade. He had multiple movies in multiple decades.
At least one in every decade.
Top Gun in the 80s, he had Top Gun, Cocktail, Legend, which I had no idea was a #1 movie, Rain Man, and Born on the 4th of July.
Could you imagine what it would mean for the community if he actually came out?
Do you mean the gay community?
Yes.
During Pride Month? In the 90s, Days of Thunder, Few Good Men, The Firm, Interview with a Vampire, Mission Impossible, Jerry Maguire, Eyes Wide Shut.
Dude, Interview with a Vampire. I love that movie.
2000s, Mission Impossible 2, Vanilla Sky. See, this was back when Tom Cruise in a movie
was
would make it
doing
number
Make a
one.
movie,
Yeah.
yeah.
Last Samurai.
Vanilla Sky.
Last
Wait.
Samurai.
That's like, yeah.
Was
War of
Jerry
the Worlds.
Maguire- did you say
Tropic
Jerry
Thunder?
Maguire?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the 90s.
War of the Worlds. Was
Word of the Wars?
World of the Wars.
World of the War.
Word of the wars.
I saw that in the theater with my mom, and that movie, that is excellent.
War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
It was not.
It was.
But I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes.
The
it was.
effects, just Tom Cruise acting, and just the effects of it all. Steven Spielberg directed that, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Little
it
Tim
was
Robbins cameo in that.
Was Minority Report a #1 movie?
Minority Report was a #1 movie.
Thought so.
Yes.
Another
Tropic Thunder,
Spielberg.
he was the big fat agent. He was Les Grossman or whatever in that. And then the 2010s, they're all Mission Impossible movies.
Wait, what about that? Wasn't he in the Hitler movie?
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie.
That's
Was that not-
I liked that a lot, but that wasn't a #1
It wasn't
movie.
#1?
No.
No.
A lot of people thought he was miscast in that, but I liked it.
Yeah.
That was a flop, yeah. I remember that one.
The Hitler movie.
You know where my brain's at.
Right. Well, because there was no way he had to learn a little bit of German, but then they transitioned so where you understood that they were speaking German, but you heard them in English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird. I don't know. But who knew that Eyes Wide Shut was ever a #1 movie?
I've still never seen
What
that. That's like a
is-
drug and sex
You're
movie,
not
right?
missing anything, yeah.
What is Tom?
He had no chemistry with his own wife on screen. That was the weirdest thing. That's when everybody saw, is
Saw
this guy gay?
gay,
Because
yeah.
Elizabeth Shue in Cocktail, dynamite, right? Rain Man, I don't remember who the female, Valerie Galino, I don't remember who the female lead in Rain Man was. Legend was Mia Sara, Sloane Peterson, for God's sake. He's on screen with his own wife, and people are like, what's going on here? They're like rock'em sock'em robots in this sex scene.
So, I mean, but did he have the sex scenes in those other movies? There was chemistry in those other movies, but it doesn't go as hardcore as Eyes Wide Shut went. Eyes Wide Shut.
But you're naked with your wife.
Yeah, but you're naked with your wife in a very
Public setting.
very public setting. Yeah, there's a lot of
But you're
people
both
around.
actors.
But would it be
it's
more
It's not like,
still-
it's not like your
strange.
wife was working accounts payable and you threw her on camera.
And it's Kubrick. You got Kubrick yelling at you.
Oh, because you're doing 45 takes.
Yeah.
Would it be?
So there might have been some
Yeah.
chemistry ones, and then he goes, I didn't like those ones. I like the ones where they're a little stiff.
Yeah.
And they're a little tired of this.
Yeah. Takes 1 through 23, you guys had great chemistry. Takes 23 through 59, not so much. But then takes 59 through 212, boy, you guys really fell off.
I think it would actually probably be more comfortable if I was doing a sex scene with someone I didn't know versus someone I have been intimate with, just because I'm doing all my intimate stuff with you in front of all these people. I'm not giving away all my trade secrets.
This goes back to Mary's thing about strangers.
It is.
Being
I'm
more
saying.
comfortable giving away your sexual secrets to strangers.
But no, it's
The uno noche stand.
I was gonna say, have you not done more adventurous things on one night stands than you have with a partner? Where you're like, man, I'm never going to see this person again.
That's
Screw
so
it.
I don't
true.
know.
That's a
I
good
don't.
point.
I don't
I know
know.
it is.
I take your point, but I don't know that I'm never going to see that person again.
Let me put this here and then put this here and see
Well,
what
I
you
don't
do.
plan to see this person
never
again,
go
so
into a-
let's go ahead and be liberal
Well,
with
it's
it.
the old Chris Rock joke about how guys have to blow out all their tricks. Women can dole it out because there might be a return engagement. Guys don't know that, so they got to throw everything against the wall that first time.
Yeah, I don't go into any one night. I never went into like a one night stand thinking it was just going to be a one night stand.
I don't believe that for 1 second. During Bad Boy Bill, your skinny post-divorce days, you never went trolling to the bar to have sex that night, not looking for anything else.
There's never a time where I just pick someone up from a bar.
Ever.
Ever.
I find that
Why is that so hard to believe?
hard to believe.
Some people,
Do you
that's not their
understand
thing.
how different it is to pick up women as a guy?
No, but you were putting up numbers.
Yes,
this
but
summer.
I had like
So where were you
it
getting
was
all these girls?
strategy. Social media and in dating apps.
So okay, well that's the same thing. You're going onto a dating app with you had the intention of seeing every girl you matched with on a dating app multiple times and seeing where it went.
I didn't say I.
But you didn't
not
know that you
necessarily
would.
seeing where it went, but like it was always like I would do this again.
You never matched with someone on Tinder just because you were horny and you were like, "Hey, let's do it," and that's the
What
end
are
of
you
it.
trying to prove here?
I don't believe him.
Why?
I think that he's lying.
Why would you not? Why would he lie about
I'm
that?
not saying I didn't have a one night like engagement, but it was never like and that now that she's out of here, I'm never talking to her again.
Right, kick her to the, I already called you an Uber, baby.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
what
know.
about it? Would you be satisfied if he had a 2-night stand?
Because most of
I guess I
I had more than one night with, and then even if like it was only one night, it was never like it was more just like scheduling, or I
Casual
started
sex.
seeing somebody more serious.
I guess. There were plenty of times after I called off my wedding where I would just literally just hit a dude up at a bar.
Yeah, 'cause you were
or-
hammered.
Not even just because I was hammered. Where I'm like, hey, you want
horny.
to hook up tonight? I don't want this to go anywhere. I don't want this to be anything.
that's
Very
what you
easy
can
for you
do.
to
And guys
do.
were like,
you can
yes.
do that.
Yes, you
But
can do
to
that.
say that you've
All you have to
never
do is
gone
your
into
hair.
it with that, you've never gone into a situation with that in your mind. I
Just
would like
want
to have
sex and
sex,
nothing
and
else.
that's it.
But you know a guy can go into it with that mindset and go home alone. A woman will never go
I
home
understand.
alone if she doesn't
That's
want
not my
to.
point. My point is Bill's saying he's never gone into a situation with that mindset.
I'm saying-
Here's a crazy thought. I'm going to believe him.
Okay.
I was just saying I would go in always open to hooking up with them again.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it was going to go anywhere or anything like that other than, ooh, someone had sex with me. I think I would have sex with that person again.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Good to be Bill Squire. It always feels right when he's in the spotlight.
Right.
More than 6, but fewer than 10 minutes. With somebody on the phone.
We talked to Tony Danza. Love Tony Danza. Lakeside, Ohio is where his show is going to be. Standards and Stories is this tour. He's doing a handful of cities. July 23rd, Saturday, Lakeside, Ohio at the Hoover Auditorium. Tony,
That's me, Alan. What's happening?
how are you, man?
I'm good. It's a beautiful day in New York. I was actually sitting in the window getting some sun, but I decided it's just a little too hot to do an interview and get sun like this. So I'm all yours.
Isn't every day in New York a beautiful day, Tony?
Let me tell you, I'm a big believer, like John Updike said, that people who don't live in New York are just kidding. So I really feel that way.
Yeah.
No, I'm a Brooklyn boy, and I grew up here, and my father was a sanitation man, a garbage man for the city. This is it for me, this place. It really is.
I mentioned that you were going to be on the show, and everybody, my co-hosts and I, we're all about 10 years apart in age, and so everyone knows a different Tony Danza. There's a couple of people on my show that they're most familiar with Who's the Boss. I go all the way back to Taxi.
It's interesting you put it that way, but it took a long time to get it right. To get it to where you know what you're doing and you don't make a jerk of yourself, and other than the fact that you got a lot of guts. One time, I'm not kidding you, when I first started doing this, I went to a thing for Cy Coleman, and B. Arthur was there, and she was leaning on the bar, and she said to me, you have more balls than brains. I was determined to be this song and dance man, but it's you, and even if you have the talent to do it, There's nobody can teach you. You can't read about it in a book. You have to go out and do it. And I don't know. I just feel like I finally, I'm to the point where, hey, give me the mic.
Did the dancing ever come easier to you because of the boxing?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I used to have. I was a plotter as a boxer, though.
Yeah.
I want you to know. I was far from Muhammad Ali. I used to just try to walk straight ahead. I never tried to take a backward step, but it was mostly plodding. But the dancing, the dancing came as a product of Taxi. You mentioned Taxi. We were doing a show called Fantasy Cab. It's a great show.
Yeah.
Where everybody's fantasy is explored, all the drivers. And Tony, my character's fantasy was to be smart.
Mentioning Taxi, the reason I love that show so much is because it was kind of like a play. Everyone was on stage at once for a lot of those scenes.
You're really on the nose today, because we used to love when we had gang shows where everybody was involved. You know what it was. There's 20. We do 24 episodes. There's 7 cast members. Everybody gets 2 episodes, and then they spread them out. But sometimes it was all by yourself.
Sure.
And Who's the Boss was like that as well. We tried to do a little play every week.
Yeah. So B. Arthur tells you that you have more balls than brains, which in showbiz is going to get you a lot farther. In the early days for you, was it important that you weren't seen as like the dumb guy, or were you just happy to be a working actor?
Well, you got to understand something, that I had gotten out of college, and instead of going into teaching, which is what I went to school for, I became a prize fighter.
Yeah.
So I was boxing, and I had 15 pro fights, and I got, by accident, the guy walked into the gym, and through a crazy set of circumstances, another show and another movie that a TV show I did, a movie I didn't get to do, I end up in Jim Brooks's office auditioning for Taxi with Mandy Patinkin, who was there for Judd's part.
Yeah, okay.
And so I really, this wasn't, it's like I said, well, wait, I want to do that show rather than do this show. No, I was really excited. And by the way, this is the truth. 3 months from the premiere of Taxi on Tuesday, September 15th in 1978. 3 months before that, I was fighting in Prospect Hall in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
In like a 6-rounder for about $300. I mean, you have to understand where I came from. So I was really excited to be there. And then, it wasn't bad to be in the best show on TV.
Fortunes can change overnight like that.
Yeah, Alan, it was like, a lot of people get break in Hollywood because it makes sense to give people a break. They're cheaper. But not everybody gets that kind of break.
Yeah, sure.
A show that, that is still, like, people are still calling me up and saying, man, it's on Hulu, I love it, it's this, it's that, I was in New York, when was it? It's a few Thanksgivings ago, and, they have those marathons they put on the TV.
Sure.
And they had a Taxi marathon. I watched 19 episodes. I couldn't stop.
Now, how many of them did you remember?
Oh, yeah. But there were things I didn't remember.
Yeah.
Which was really, really shocking. Where I go, wait a minute, I don't remember that at all, But there were so many great things that I remember.
It's like getting to see it. It's like getting to see it again for the very first time.
In some ways, certainly, and certainly with a different eye.
Yeah.
Because I'm 71 now.
71.
That's right, man.
Man, I'm happy to see you show up in things. I loved the Paul Reiser, Johnny Carson thing that you were in. And it was kind of gone as quickly as it came, but it was a lot of fun. And Don John, you were dynamite in. I saw that not long ago, too. And so I'm always happy when I see you show up in things.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while,
that's right.
You know what I mean?
The live show is called Standards and Stories. Here in Ohio, it's going to get to Lakeside on Saturday, July 23rd. You're going to play the Hoover Auditorium.
No, I'm ahead of myself because I'm playing Binghamton this week, and then Philadelphia the 11th.
Yeah.
And then I'm opening here in the city at the coolest place in the world. It's called the Carlisle Hotel. It's on East 76th Street, and it's the place, the Cafe Carlisle, the place that Bobby Short made famous.
That's legit.
The great Bobby Short, who played there for many years. So I'm playing there for 2 weeks, and just so you know how cool it is. Okay? Alan, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So not only now, first of all, you walk into the Carlisle, it's like walking into another era, another time.
Sure.
And the elevators. The elevators have those things on the top that point to the floor number.
Yeah, right.
Around, like
the dial.
Arrow. Yeah, and there's actually guys in the elevators, and then but the coolest thing is, number one, when you play there for a week or whatever you play, I'm there 2 weeks. They give you a suite for the 2 weeks, and what's great about that is you can have people come up after the show and schmooze. But what's really great and what separates everything for me is they embroider your initials into the pillowcases.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. So, I've been stealing pillowcases there for a while.
Yeah. Well, listen, Tony, I very much appreciate your time. I'm going to let you get back into the sunlight there in New York. And
thank you. Come see the show. It's really, by the way, totally self-explanatory. Standard stories make you laugh a little bit, hopefully, and dance, and then get out the ukulele with a great band.
Beautiful.
With a great Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time, brother. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Take care. It's Tony Danza, star of stage and screen. He's a singer, he's a dancer, he's a ukulele player.
Now, is he from New York? I couldn't tell.
Strange story. Yeah. He is from La Jolla, California.
Oh,
You'd never guess it, but yes, of course. Standards and Stories is the tour. You can go to lakesideohio.com to find out the details on that show if you want to see him do his thing. Let me take a quick break here. If you want to text for anything, 35192, and you can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7